Hey guys, it's Mr. Piercy here. I just wanted to record a quick video to show you all first off what these terms absolute location, latitude and longitude, even place mark, like those type of words, what those are. So that way you all can complete this social studies assignment by Friday. So what this assignment deals with, kind of how it works, is the first part. You are going to search for these locations on Google Earth, and then see if you can tell me their absolute location. And then on the second part, I've given you some absolute locations here, and you've got to see if you can figure out which famous landmark or landmarks are near or close to these locations. So here's how it works, right? The first thing that you've got to understand is that, what this term absolute location means. And it is exactly where you are on planet Earth. I know some of you right now, you must say, well, I'm sitting in my kitchen. I am sitting in my bedroom. I don't know, sitting on my couch. That's my absolute location. Well, in a sense, you're not wrong, but the way that geographers, people who study the planet, make maps about it and stuff, the way that they determine somebody's absolute location are using what are called coordinates. And I'm going to show you how they do that right now using this tool called Google Earth, which I know some of you have used a little bit. Some of you might be brand new to it. If you want to open it up, there's a link to it on the Google Classroom assignment, but you can also click this little box right here and it'll open up in a new tab, right? So here's Google Earth, right? You just saw it 2 seconds ago. Now I'm here. So anyway, so this is Earth, right? Big planet. Or, if someone asks you, where are you? You could say, well, I'm in Kentucky. I'm here. I'm there. But a geographer, they'd be interested in somebody's coordinates, like exactly where somebody is on the planet. Now, you might say, well, I live at 47 Main Street, or I live at, Southland Drive on whatever. And again, that's your address, and that's close. But the way that a geographer would figure out your absolute location are using these imaginary lines, which you can't really see them on the planet right now because I haven't put them there yet. But they call these imaginary lines latitude and longitude. We'll study those a little bit more this week, but you can actually make those latitude and longitude lines appear on Google Earth. Let me show you how to do that. So you go over here to the left, and you'll see there's this little button that says map style, right? It's got style, right? So you click where it says map style. I usually make my map clean. That just helps it run a lot faster, especially if you're just kind of searching around a little bit. You've got like an older Chromebook. Then if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see you've got some little check boxes here that you can turn, little toggles rather, you can turn on. And there's this one that says turn on grid lines. So one more time, click here, click the thing that says map style, scroll down to the bottom, and watch what happens when I click this button that says turn on grid lines. Now, let me click off that here for a second. Now when I click on the planet, it's now put these imaginary lines that you've probably seen on a globe before. Maybe you've seen it on like an old map before. But these imaginary lines are how geographers, or just people who, if you're trying to figure out exactly where you are on the planet, they use these imaginary lines, and where they cross, that's somebody's absolute location. Now, if you've ever used like a GPS in your car before, that GPS stands for Global Positioning System, which guess what? That's based off of latitude and longitude lines. So if you notice, they're written in degrees. So this is like 90 degrees west. That's this longitude line right here. Longitude lines go up and down. And then you've got these other lines that are running across the Earth's surface. These are what are called latitude lines. You probably already know, probably the most famous latitude line, the equator, right? It cuts the Earth into a north and a south, but that is actually 0 degrees longitude. Sorry, 0 degrees latitude is early. Sorry. But anyway, so somebody's absolute location, to kind of figure it out, it's where those lines cross, that's somebody's absolute location. So like right here, this line that's going across this way, that's 20 degrees north. This one. And then this one right here, that's 60 degrees west. So this little dot right there, kind of where my cursor is. If someone was sitting on a boat at that spot on the planet's surface, they would say, oh, well, I'm at 20 degrees west. Sorry, let me try that one more time. I'm at 20 degrees north and 60 degrees west. That's my absolute location. Now, the way that this assignment works, right? You've got some famous landmarks here. Maybe you've heard of some of these. Maybe you've heard of Machu Picchu. Maybe you've heard of like the Washington Monument. I know we get a lot of baseball fans in class this year, so I put Fenway Park on there. I'm going to show you how this assignment works. What you do is you take one of these landmarks, and I'm just going to copy it to my clipboard. You go to Google Earth, and then I'm going to search for it. I'm going to go up here and I'm just going to paste it into my little search box there. And I'm just going to press enter. Watch what happens. It's going to fly me to that location. And if you notice, those latitude and longitude lines, they stay there. But when you search for something for the first time, it kind of tilts it a little bit at an angle. So it's like, I can't see the latitude, longitude lines anymore. If that happens when you're working on this assignment, just click the little X that pops up, makes it go away. Let me move my face out of the way here. Or if you still can't see it, there's a little button kind of in the corner that you can click that says 2D, and it'll make it where it appears again, right? Now, if you'll notice those latitude, longitude lines, they've now like shrunk down. We're getting so close that now they've got to have them down as decimals, right? And if someone were to say like, well, what is the absolute location of the Eiffel Tower? Maybe you've heard of that tall, that tower in France. Well, again, as long as you're close, right, it's fine. You can kind of zoom in here a little bit more. But I noticed that, let's see, I'm going to use this one. Let's use this one right here. So usually the first coordinate that you want to put, you always want to put whether you are north or south. And this one, it looks like it's 48 and 858 thousandths degree north. So I'm actually going to round that. So where it says what's the absolute location of the Eiffel Tower, I would say I'm going to round that to 48 and 86 degrees north. Let's do that. So you always want to put it in parentheses. So it's 48 and 86. And again, if you know how to get to the degree symbol, you can type it in there. You can write degrees north, right? You want to put a comma and a space after it. And then you have what's called your longitude lines. And these run east to west. That's what that E stands for. It's east. And I know where this one crosses, that's pretty close. It's right on top of it. Again, I'm going to round this again, probably to the hundredths place. So just 2 and 29. And so let's see, 2 and 29 hundredths degrees east. So I'm going to go ahead and type this in there, 2 and 29 degrees east. Now, if you know how to make a degree symbol, right, if you know how to make one, I'm actually just going to copy it from down here. You can go ahead and replace it, put the degree symbol there. A degree, sometimes we think of that as like, what's your temperature, right? Oh, my body temperature, 99.8 degrees Fahrenheit, right? But degree is just another word for measurement. You see that in math. But look, right here, I just wrote down the absolute location, more or less, of the Eiffel Tower. Okay, as long as you're close, it's fine, right? Okay, well, next part of this assignment, a little bit different, right? So now it kind of gives you brain. a little bit here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Google Earth. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to zoom out all the way. Like I kind of got to start over from scratch here. Quite like drinking coffee. Y'all will appreciate when you're older, trust me. Right, so I'm just zooming out all the way. Zooming out, zooming out. Because what you have to do on the next part of this assignment is you all are going to have, you're going to be given, let me make this face north here. You're going to be given some coordinates. So we're going to do this example one right here. And then you've got to see if you can figure out what famous landmark or thing or place is near that location, right? Near this absolute location, right? 32 and 46 degrees north by 85 and 68 degrees west. So here's what you got to do. Let's start with my 32 and 46 degrees north. When I zoom out all the way, I see that right here, here's 30 degrees north, right? And if I go below the equator, now it's in degrees south, right? But I'm going to be above the equator, so I know I'm going to be on, it's going to be close to that line. And that 30 degrees north latitude line, that's going to stay where it is. It's going to be right there. So I'm looking for 32, and then I'm also looking for 85 degrees west. Huh. Okay, well, when I'm looking at my longitude lines, I see that right there is 80 degrees west, and there's 90 degrees west. So I know it's got to be somewhere around here. All right, so there's 30 degrees north, there's 85 degrees west. So I know it's somewhere around this region. And I'm just going to keep zooming in there. And you'll notice as you get closer, because we're getting closer, the degrees change. Now this says 32 and 85. And let's see, 32 and 85. I know it's got to be somewhere around there where those two lines cross. Let's kind of keep getting closer. Let's see, 32 and 85, just kind of coming here a little bit, right? And now look, it's even getting smaller. Okay, so now I've got 32 and 46 degrees north. So I know I'm going to want to move up a little bit. Keep moving up, just dragging my mouse. 32 and 46. Okay, there's my 32 and 46 line. And then I'm looking for 85 and 68. Okay, so 85 and 68 would be that way. So I'm kind of dragging my mouse along so I get to 85. And it went too long. Let's see, oh, there it is. Alrighty, so it looks like, again, I'm doing some rounding there. There's 32 and 46, and there's 85 and 68. So it looks like I'm on this little airfield here. I wonder what that is. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, right? Now, when you get to this part, right, you do actually have to have just some, you're on your map style. You do probably want to put it on exploration mode. So that way it's like, oh, okay. So right here, I've found the Tuskegee Airmen National Historic Site, which if you don't know that story class, I encourage you to look it up. Quite cool. But it looks like that is the thing that's about near this location. So I'm going to go here. And I know that this is the Tuskegee Airmen National Historic Site. All right, so there's 5 of these, and you're going to follow the same process. You kind of zoom out, find what's near or close to these locations, and we'll accept multiple answers for these. But good luck on this assignment, and let me know if you need any help.